Hello everyone, and welcome to another royal reading here at MadWorldTarot. A very hot MadWorldTarot, meltingly hot here in South Africa, and I am looking today at Africa, the scramble for Africa between Prince William and Prince Harry. This whole African Parks debacle which rumbles on. The Parkles have been steadfast in their refusal to acknowledge it or make any statements about it. They have instead put out some rather silly videos of them accepting that award against racism that has just come out and from their dungeon, and what looks like a dungeon anyway, and the other one about them in New York supporting the online safety cause, which raised ire among many commentators because of course, their followers and their history of online bullying. And what else have they done? Oh, now they're off to Canada for the Invictus Games in a year's time. So they're doing a whole lot of self-promotion and a whole lot of ignoring the African Parks debacle. But we hear from the Times newspaper that the brothers fell out about Africa long before Meghan Markle showed up on the scene. In fact, way back in their childhood, they were caught fighting. And when asked why, William said, "Because rhinos, elephants, that's mine." Little brat, I would say. But that's just my opinion. Now we hear that they fell out before Meghan showed up on the scene over their approaches to conservation. Prince William favoured a community-led approach, whereas Prince Harry favoured a more interventionist style. And that more hands-on interventionist style has led to this problem with the rangers and their abuse of Indigenous people in those park areas. And insiders say that Harry doesn't have the experience to navigate out of this crisis. And they also say that Prince William is unlikely to help him, given their ongoing, not feud, it wasn't the word, war. The war between the two brothers. So Prince William is going to hands off and let Harry sink or swim, according to this article. So I'm going to do a reading, a Celtic cross on this story, using the Lunar Soul Tarot. It's my Africa Tarot, and I'm going to have a look at it from Prince William's point of view. The theme for today is charities and squabbles over charities. We're going to do African Parks one now and the Invictus Games one next in our quick little follow-up energy reading. And the African Parks one, reading from Prince William's point of view, what he thinks about this whole saga, how he sees Harry's situation, the problems facing Harry, the causes, their past conflicts, what he thinks Harry should do, and is he going to help? And ultimately how this conflict or this crisis will affect their relationship. I need to shuffle one more time apparently, and then we'll get going. Yeah. And yeah, okay. That's that. And as I lay the Celtic cross out, let's remind you, it's tarot for fun and entertainment, or opinion, my opinion, or speculation. And just read energy and disclaimer in the box below. And so we're going to do, as I say, Celtic cross from Prince William's point of view, but looking at Harry, what Prince William sees for Harry, where Harry currently is right now with this crisis. And we have the Hierophant in reverse. That's interesting. The Hierophant is royal family, but it's also organizations, institutions. That would be African Parks that's in the reverse right now. It's a very powerful organization. It's backed by some very wealthy people. It covers a vast terrain in Africa. And it was Harry's future, really. It was where Harry was aiming himself more and more. Of course, the Netflix documentary that we still think is on the slate, the Parkle slate, the Archie Wells slate, possibly to do with rhinos and relocating a whole bunch of rhinos to try and save them away from South Africa, where they're being poached to extinction. So Hierophant in reverse, organization that's out of control, poorly led, poorly managed. That's pretty much what it says. It also reflects onto the royal family, of course. This poor leadership, this scandal in this organization that hasn't really been addressed very successfully so far as I can tell, that's just my opinion, is reflecting poorly also on the royal family, which traditionally shows up as the Hierophant in these royal readings. So that's very interesting from Prince William's point of view. So the situation as Prince William sees it, facing Harry right now, Temperance. Harry has got to fix this situation. He's got to come in as the healing energy, as almost a mediator, and get involved. You can see mediation in there because there are the cups and the water being passed between the cups, being harmonized and balanced, and that is what the Temperance card does. It's the angel in the situation that Harry could potentially have a very powerful role in mediating this situation and fixing it and resolving it. And that is clearly why these people, I've forgotten what their name is, the group that has raised this issue over the years, actually approached Prince Harry directly and said, please help us, please tackle this situation. So there it is. Literally, there's a potential for Harry to do some real good in this situation and heal it and solve it. But as this insider said, Harry doesn't have the experience to navigate out of a crisis. So let's see what the problem is for Prince Harry as far as Prince William can see. And we have the Seven of Swords in reverse. That's an interesting card. Upright, it's someone who's done a bit of a disappearing act, who's doing illegal stuff. I'm not accusing Harry of doing illegal stuff at all, and I'm sure that Prince William is not accusing him of doing anything untoward himself. But he is faced with people who are doing illegal things, egregious human rights abuses, criminal acts, Seven of Swords, and they need to be exposed and they need to be not acknowledged. The Seven of Swords in reverse is a confession card. Yes, this bad thing happened. We admit it, we acknowledge it, and now we're going to try and resolve it, which is why the Temperance card is sitting there. So there needs to be some degree of acknowledgement, some admission that there is a problem in this organization, Hierophant in reverse, that needs to be resolved. So what is at the root cause of this, all of this mess with Harry and African parks? From Prince William's point of view, Ace of Discs, money, Discs, Pentacles, money. It's big money. As I said, there were enormously wealthy people involved in this organization, big power players, and of course there is also the Netflix documentary. It's money. There is a lot at stake here for Harry with this. Apparently he is not paid. The article was very careful to make that clear. Even as a board member, he is not paid. But there is association with all kinds of billionaires. They were named in the article that he has direct dealing with. So it's a beneficial kind of relationship, I'm sure, with some perks. But also there's Netflix. With the $1 million contract, and Harry still has to fulfill his obligations to Netflix. The clock is ticking, the contract is winding down. He's produced the Invictus Games documentary. So far it didn't do very well, even though it was a worthy cause. The Africa one probably could do better, but now scandal hangs over it like a cloud. So what does Prince William think Prince Harry should do? We've got Wu Wei, which is an extra in this tarot deck. It's the going with the flow card. It's a sort of Chinese Qigong kind of a vibe, going with the energy when it's upright, stepping into the stream, being taken along with the stream. But very interestingly, this card has come out in the reverse, this extra this extra card, and it's telling me that he actually needs to resist. I'm just reading the little book while I'm talking to you. It says, do enough, just enough, so that your influence may turn the tide. That is the little book from the Lunar Soul Tarot little book, Wu Wei, the last bit I'm reading, if you want to have a look at it yourselves. It's an interesting tarot deck, this. And so Prince William thinks that Harry should be involved in this, use his influence to change things. He's not saying you need to leave, you need to step out, you need to resign. He's saying use your influence, use your angelic power in that Temperance card that's at the heart of this reading to change the energy from within, to change the corporate culture. Hierophant in reverse, from within. And of course, these kinds of situations, corporate culture kind of stuff, corporate governance, you need people to really come in and train and change the whole culture. And Harry, again, doesn't have that kind of experience. He has not worked in a corporate environment. He's been helicoptered into these situations as Chimpo, as president of African Parks. Now he's on the board. He has no real world experience of any of this. No resources to fall back on in a crisis like this. No training, no experience. Possibly not also the sufficient intelligence to deal with it either, or to go and look stuff up or ask for help. But it's interesting, Prince William is sending him this really powerful message with the Temperance card and this Wu Wei in reverse. You can fix this from within. So past conflict between the brothers, tell us about that. What? 10 of Wands. Yeah, it was something that really fell between them very heavily. I would have expected a 5 of Wands. That's competing with each other, squabbling, one-upmanship, that kind of energy, wrestling with each other. It's very much that kind of energy in the 5 of Wands. But we've got 10 of Wands, where it really reached a stage between the brothers where they reached the end of the road with each other on this story. And the big narrative in this article that's been passed around various news sources is that actually the brothers fell out heavily before Meghan turned up on the scene and ended their relation pretty much. Allegedly, let's throw one in. This conflict about how to handle conservation in Africa brought them to the end of their relationship. 10s are endings. It fell between them so heavily that it really damaged their relationship permanently. Crazy, isn't it crazy? So next step, future, what's Prince William going to do? Is he going to stand by and watch, or is he going to try and help? Wow, the Strength card. He really doesn't want Harry to fail. However angry he is and betrayed and disappointed, he wants Harry to succeed. It's Africa, the Strength card, very much Africa with a lion there. It's the royal family. We've got the royal family in reverse with a Hierophant. Now we get the royal family Strength card. He wants to support Harry. He wants to share his wisdom, his resources, shore this whole situation up. Be interesting to see if this is how they reconnect. Previous readings, I have seen no chance of any reconciliation between them for at least 10 years. But there it is. Prince William would really like to help. It's making me quite emotional. I think he feels emotional about this. His beloved Africa. He's going through a very emotional time with Catherine and her illness, a very serious illness. Now this. They're very interesting. I'm feeling quite tearful as I'm looking at that card of that desire to help. So how does he see Harry right now? His view of Harry right now. We've got the King of Discs in reverse. That's Prince Harry, literally the King of Pentacles, but in reverse. The King of Discs is someone who's very stable, upright. He's very solid. He's good at money. He's got a good business brain. He's good at managing people and money and, you know, growing businesses and all of that stuff. Corporate governance. If you want a good corporate governance person, King of Pentacles, King of Discs is your guy. In reverse, Harry doesn't have a clue. That's how William sees it. Harry doesn't have the experience, doesn't have the gravitas, doesn't have the business brain, doesn't have the assets, possibly even the money, whatever he needs to resolve this. He just doesn't have it. He's in his shadow aspect as well. He might be driven and obsessed by money, because the King of Pentacles in reverse is obsessed by money, trying to grab it by whatever means. Ace of Discs here as the root cause of all of this, and not necessarily doing the right thing. Seven of Swords in reverse also. So pressure that Harry is under right now from Prince William's perspective. Oh, Justice in reverse. Yeah. We've got a situation that is completely out of whack and may become legal. It may have legal repercussions. Justice card in reverse. It's like bad karma. You reap what you sow. In the reverse, the Justice card is bad karma. We've had them fighting. We've had the 10 of Wands. We've heard that this really cast a shadow over their relationship. They fell out massively over this. And here comes Justice. William sees this as, well, you went with the big money, you went with the big players, the heavy hitters, the vast territory that you could sort of control and lord it over as president of African parks. And here comes your karma. There's some very big cards in this reading, from Temperance to Wu Wei to the Strength card, and now Justice in reverse with the Hierophant sitting in reverse underneath it all. So Prince William sees this as Harry's inexperience, King of Discs in reverse, Harry's karma, but he also sees that Harry might be concerned that there might be legal consequences, personal liability. He is a member of the board, and when things go south in companies, members of the board, directors, are very often personally liable. So Harry's hopes and fears, as far as William can see them. Harry wants to get out of trouble, get out of jail card, 6 of Swords. I don't mean that literally, of course, even when I'm talking about personal liability. 6 of Swords is distance yourself from something that's very difficult, very uncomfortable, mentally in particular, because we're dealing with swords. It's also the go overseas card, that necessity to put distance between yourself and some trouble. So Harry definitely is hoping that he can get out of this mess somehow. I think also because it's 6 of Swords and it's travel, I think William thinks that Harry possibly still would like to go to Africa, get away from trouble back at home in California, and go to Africa. And what's the outcome going to be of this whole saga between the brothers? What's the outcome between the brothers going to be? Is it going to fix things or not fix things? I've got the 9 of Discs and I've got a doorbell going. And I'm back to finish this reading off, and I had a wonderful surprise, Sunday morning surprise. Someone who's just brought me a beautiful indigenous tree to plant in my garden. So there you go, conservation in Africa, and I have a beautiful tree to plant. That's very 9 of Pentacles, by the way. And we have the 9 of Discs, as they call it in this tarot, as our closing energy, our outcome energy for this reading. And it's independence. It's not reconciliation. It's you go your way, I go my way over this. They're not going to find common ground. It's not a terrible falling out energy at all, the 9 of Discs. It's just very much, well, you see things your way, I see things my way. I'm going to carry on doing things that I believe in, and you do things that you believe in. And they will both prosper. That's an interesting energy. Because the 9 of Discs is very much a prospering energy. It's abundance, it's being surrounded by good things in life. And so there is a hint in this card that if Harry does what this energy is telling him to do, and there might be messages going, oops, now I've dropped my microphone. I hope this reading closes without silence and just, you know, a hand pointing. If Harry does the right thing, all good. And there might be some guidance, there might be some behind the scenes guidance through the royal family, through channels, back channels. I don't think William directly will get involved in this, but perhaps the royal family will intervene at some level to offer him some guidance and suggestions on how to resolve this situation. So it's possible. Of course, the outcome energy is always just in current timeline and current energy. So I'm not seeing reconciliation, but I am seeing the possibility that the situation could improve, at least for Prince Harry. There you have it. And thank you for watching, and on to the next one.